Welcome to the Box Score Sports Podcast.
Okay, let's go into the teams. Let's first talk about the Cleveland Browns so we can continue our discussion. So if you're watching this on YouTube for the first time, subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a comment down below, and tell us your predictions of the Cleveland Browns season. Last year, they finished 5-12. Let's go with our favorite move that they made this offseason. We'll start with you, Travis. What was your favorite move?
They boosted their O-line. They signed a few tackles and guards, but does it really matter when you have four quarterbacks that aren't
That's
great?
that's in my red light. I mean my red flag. My red light, my red flag. But yeah, fixing their offensive line. So they got how do you pronounce that? Fano and Munkin, Todd Munkin, right? Or is that their offensive coordinator? No, that's their
That's their head coach.
head
Yeah, the
coach. Yeah,
coach.
that's right. Okay,
Yeah.
I made these.
Fano's their or Fano, whatever is their tackle.
Yeah,
And
that's it.
yeah.
Okay, got it. Perfect. Okay, I'm just checking this off. Okay, how about you, Ryan?
I guess I like some of the speed maybe they added at receiver with Concepcion through the draft. And Fano on the line. They had a couple first round picks. I don't love the Titus Howard trade, but we'll get into that. But I do think they added more speed.
Oh, okay, like it. Got to get your quarterback some weapons. I do like the Todd Monken hiring. I think that's good. It was time to move off of Kevin Stefanski, right? Like that was their coach last year. It was kind of over with. I do have, however, a negative that we'll talk about. And I actually didn't mind the Verse trade, getting Jared Verse. I think getting that young really good pass rusher with all those picks. If Myles Garrett is got only 2 years, they're not going to be good in 2, 3 years. They got a little bit of a rebuilding to do. So by the time they were going to be good, Garrett would probably be over the hill. So I think getting what they did for them, they got a premium for what they could have maybe got for him. So a first round pick first, a second, and a third round pick. Okay, anything else, guys?
Nope.
Okay. Okay, let's go to our least favorite move. Let's start with you on this one, Ryan.
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier, but Titus Howard, I don't mind him as a right tackle, but they trade for him and then give him $60 million immediately. I mean, they got to pay somebody money, letting Garrett go. And he was one of the best pass blocking tackles on PFF, but one of the worst run blocking tackles. So I think when you're that bad, if we're talking about their offense not being good, if your right tackle is supposed to be kind of like your road grader, good run blocker, and your left tackle is supposed to be more like pass protection. So it's just kind of an odd thing to give a right tackle that can't run block that much money.
Okay, so too much money for him, huh? What did they give up for? What did they give up for him?
It's not my money. I'd
Yeah.
have to look it up. I want to say it's like a third round pick to the
Okay.
Texans.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Like it. Travis, what about you?
I know you said that they got what you thought was worth for Garrett, but I thought they could have got a little bit more out of that, maybe another first round pick to put on top of all that. But the other thing too is just they're dealing with the Deshaun Watson contract still. They haven't been able to, I don't think they have an out for that. So
No, it was all guaranteed, right?
yeah,
So
that's what I
yeah.
thought.
Yeah. Yeah, I did put Garrett down as least favorite just because we love to see those legendary players start with a team, end with a team. Plus, I think the leadership and who he is on the Browns meant a lot. So I have it in I'm speaking in both sides of my mouth with that trade. I think they did get pretty premium value, but I understand it's yeah, whatever. Jim Schwartz, they let him go and they had the number 4 defense last year. So this is probably would be the case why they might fall drastically because they lost Garrett and Jim Schwartz. And say what you want about Jim Schwartz, but he can coach up the defense. But my least favorite move of all is, do you know who their GM is? Andrew Barry. Okay, I know this is a hot deep cut here. Do you know who traded for Deshaun Watson?
Andrew
Andrew Barry. how is he still your GM? You fire the coach before the GM? Like that was the worst trade slash contract given out, and he is still employed by the Browns. I don't understand it. It's my biggest, least favorite offseason non-move. I'm just like, well, are you trying to be good or not? But anyway, least favorite move.
Well, and with the elite pass rushers, they say, well, Garrett's on the wrong side of 30. But a
Mhm.
lot of guys are effective, the all-time greats into their mid 30s. So Garrett could have 5 more years yet of just really high level play. So it's kind of like you better hope Verse stays healthy and then you hit on those picks, which, like you said, if Andrew Berry's making them, who knows?
Well, yeah, exactly. Exactly. Okay. Okay, let's go to our green flags or what we're like kind of like excited about for the Browns going into the season. We'll start with you, Travis, on this one.
Tank, I guess, is your green flag, so you can get a good draft pick again. There's nothing for me to really be that excited for this team. I don't know. If I was a fan of this team, I would be very disappointed in what's happening because you're years away from, any deep playoff run or anything like that. So
Yeah,
keep tanking. That's my green flag for them.
keep tanking. Yeah, just don't be worse than the Dolphins this year. We need the best quarterback available. Okay, guys. What about you, Ryan?
Well, just looking at their schedule, you can get tickets to their home games as low as $29. So, I mean, if you want a cheap game to go to, just go down to Cleveland and you can see some of the better teams come in there.
Oh, that's a green flag. Let's go. Yeah, that's a good point. I did put
Road trip.
road trip. Road trip. Yeah, there we go. I should check and see if they play the Dolphins. Anyway, um, I put down just some of the young talent might be fun to watch. They have Conception, who they drafted in the first round. Boston, both wide receivers, they drafted him in the second round. So just some young talent that they can kind of watch and cheer for. They got that tight end in his second year who had kind of a breakout year last year. So, or third year. I can't remember if it's second or third year, but he had a breakout year last year. So they got a couple young pieces that they can watch grow and progress. So if you're like rooting for anything, you just want to see them guys thrive this year, even if you lose.
I think green flag for them always is too is they'll beat like the Bengals or Steelers or Ravens. They'll sneak up on one of those teams and and then at the end of the year, you're like, how the heck did we lose that game to the Browns? They just do that every year somehow. I think it's just happens in the division, but I know Jameis Winston had the game of his life like 2 years ago to beat the Ravens in the regular season, and that they had to go to Buffalo in the playoffs on the road because they lost that game to the Browns.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Division games are so funny like that, aren't they? Like the Dolphins might beat the Bills one time this year and they shouldn't. They better not either. But yeah. Yeah. Okay, red flags. Let's go and like our biggest questions, concerns going into the season. We'll start with you, Ryan, on this one.
Who's your quarterback? I
Mm.
know Watson's taking some snaps first in the preseason, and then they're gonna play Shadur, start him maybe one game. I don't think either one's a great option, but I would obviously go with the younger guy if I had the choice. We've seen what Watson can do or can't do since he's been reinstated to the league, so might as well roll with Shadur. And if you go 3-14, so be it. You get your high pick you wanted next year, anyways.
Right, and then you get an answer for Sanders, like, is he going to be good or not? Probably, like so if you play him, yeah, that's a good point. What about you, Travis? What's your red flag?
Mine's the same, but just a different thought process. I was thinking, you just give each quarterback 4 games to play, and you just rotate them, and then whoever plays the best gets the final game or a couple more games in there. So I don't know. Yeah, their quarterback issue is just they have too many that basically are all like a 68 on Madden overall.
Nice Madden drop. I love it. Yeah, no, I agree. That's what I had down. Watson is still there. His cap issues and him being like, you kind of feel like the GM might still want you to play him and why the GM should be gone. Okay. Fantasy football go-to, Travis.
Jerry Judy never disappoints, right, Ryan?
He's up there with Amari Cooper, which I love those guys.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Sorry, I just looked it up. Shedeur Sanders is a 69 overall on Madden 27, so I was off. I shorted him by 1 rating.
Oh, darn it.
Apologies.
Yeah. Well, you were close, though. You were close. Is Judy your fantasy football go-to?
I mean,
he's fine.
Yeah, he's fine. I don't know.
You stand away from Browns?
On their quarterback, I don't see them scoring a ton of points this year. So
that's
you
fair.
Put their defense, if they're going to be somewhat solid, as I don't know.
No, that's fair. Ryan, what about you?
Yeah, I put a guy I had last year in fantasy that I liked was Harold Fannin. He had 72 catches, 6 touchdowns. And Monken, he always featured tight ends in the Ravens passing game. And their quarterback play isn't great, so I'd rather take their tight end than those receivers that I'm not sure about.
Yeah, that's a good point. I also put Junkins down. He's your starting running back, and if you can get him as your RB2 or your flex position, it might be a good flyer because the Browns are going to try running the football. Okay, prediction. Let's predict the Browns. Their over under going into the season is 5.5. Let's start with Ryan. What do you have them at?
This is a hot one. You said Monken might be an upgrade here. I'm gonna go 6-11.
Okay.
They play the NFC South, which isn't great. They play the Jets. They play, some teams I think that are beatable. Tennessee. But then they also might steal a division game, so I'll give them 6 wins, 1 more than last year.
That is a little bit of a hot take, I think. Travis?
I have them going 2-15, so
I'll have
2 wins will be against the Bengals. So.
Exactly. I'll have them 5-12. I had them just under, so yeah. Okay, everybody listening, thanks for listening. Don't forget to comment, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and we'll see you guys next time.
Sorry if I really, went off on the Browns and how terrible I think they are.
I just wish you'd be more excited about how terrible they are. Okay, Thanks so much for watching this clip of the Box Score Sports Podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter or X. And we'll talk to you guys real soon. See ya.